In the last video, I compared the differences in writing and pronunciation between Chinese and the Indo-European languages. Today, I will discuss listening and reading. Listening, in English, you can know or guess how to read the word when you see it. Then, by the same token, you can also write or know the word when you hear it. How about Chinese? There are many Chinese characters with the same pronunciation. You cannot always identify Chinese characters simply by listening to the pronunciation. But if the meaning is clear from how the word is used, and then you can clearly know which Chinese character it is. Chinese characters have three elements: form, sound, and meaning. And also, China is a very big country. Each province and city has different dialects, which can make Chinese learners feel that they still do not understand after studying Chinese for a long time. But please do not worry too much about this, because Chinese people too do not understand local dialects when they hear them. Fortunately, the vast majority of Chinese people now speak Mandarin, although sometimes with a little bit their local accent. Grammar has an impact on listening and reading comprehension. Indo-European languages have tenses to signify an action is in the past, present, in the future, or ongoing action. For many of the actual letters of a verb can change depending on the tense or subject. For example, I eat bread, he eats bread. I ate bread, I have eaten bread, I am eating bread. This is the same verb to eat, but the actual letters are all different. Given tense, which can be confusing for Chinese people. In Chinese, there's no verb tenses, and the verb remains the same in the past, present, future, ongoing action. What differentiates the time is not the verb, but function words or the order of the words that give the context of whether if the action is in the past, present, future, etc. For example, 我吃面包，他吃面包，我吃了面包，我吃过面包，我正在吃面包。Chinese grammar is expressed by the order of words in a sentence or through function words. For example, le has different meanings when it's after verb or after an adjective, or when there is one le or two le in a sentence, the meaning is also different. As well, when a word is lightly stressed, the meaning can also be different. The use of function words in Chinese is very flexible, therefore a little tricky to grasp at first. But when you first starting learning Chinese, you do not use too many function words. Therefore, you probably do not find Chinese grammar to be too difficult. But fortunately, Chinese is also a very logical language. For example, computer, 电脑, electric, brain. January to December is just numbers plus the word for month, and so on. And the Chinese characters too have some logic to them. As I mentioned in the last video, Chinese is like Lego. Reading. It is quite natural that you will be hesitant, if not actually afraid, to tackle a written text in Chinese, and even more so if you are reading at an elementary level. Oh, it's so hard. Like my little nephew cries before he even starts his homework in the morning and saying, I cannot finish this today. When you see an article full of Chinese characters, you automatically think it will be impossible to understand. Then you start reading and begin to realize, hey, I've got it. Chinese people who are learning English feel the same way when they look at an article in English. At beginning, it is so hard, but diving in and plunging through can give you a unique sense of accomplishment. Have you had this feeling? It is true that learning Chinese can present some unique challenges in terms of pronunciation, Chinese characters, and grammar. But all languages have their particular difficulties, especially if you want to master the language. But as long as you are interested in the language and making progress in your learning, and then you will find your effort to be rewarding, and then you will discover the beauty of Chinese. Well, that's all for today's video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Wei Wei. See you.